rabbit on. Yeah, I thought I'd do a piece to camera and I thought it'd be more upbeat than this. It's not, is it? The other day I was in the truck with Dad and we were talking about how much we had to do and jobs and what we were doing, and for the first time ever, like I said, I don't think we ever taught you to relax, and he can't relax and neither can I or my brother or sister. We're all a bit terrible at taking time off, and we call it like the LVT guilt. Our spouses call it kind of, we always have this feeling that we should be doing something. We all struggle to really relax and take time off. And even when I'm kind of sat down, I think I should be doing something. It's one of the reasons I write actually at night, because I kind of feel guilty if I'm just wasting my time watching TV. And TV is a waste of time, in fairness, most of it. Yeah, I kind of, at the moment, I've got this like real overwhelming sense of guilt as I look around. There's a few things I've promised the kids. I said we're going to get some pigs this year. We haven't got pigs yet. I want to get a few sheep again. We haven't done that. We've had a few big shake-ups in life, and my daughter's been diagnosed as type 1 diabetic, and that has definitely put us into a bit of a turmoil and different things. But also my work and the stuff I sell has been really, really busy this spring. And I've been not struggling to keep up, but it's been pretty consistent, you know, having to make things constantly. I'm really behind in the garden. Compost doesn't seem that great. And you worry that you're not taking advantage of this kind of beautiful space. You know, I live on a beautiful smallholding in Herefordshire, and I think, God, am I using this to its absolute fullest? But also, you've got your bills and everything else to pay, and you do need to earn money, and you know, you've got to spend time doing other things. At the moment, I'm fixing the patio. It's the last thing I want to be doing. I'd rather be doing stuff in the garden, but I know if I don't push on with some of these jobs, they just never get done. So I got a greenhouse. I was meant to, last year I didn't use the smaller greenhouse because I was going to do the base for it, and I thought, oh, if I plant anything up there it'd be a real pain. And all summer long I just felt the guilt of not doing that greenhouse base, and it's still not done. So I probably need to give myself a bit of forgiveness for kind of trying to take on too much, always trying to make, you know, and projects like that just get pushed to the back because they don't make money. They're not of huge benefit, but putting infrastructure work in is really important long term, but it's finding the time to do it. So like I said, at the moment, fixing that patio, it's crap. It's a crap job. You know, I don't want to be doing it. I'm going to put a new drain into it and help the water drain away. It's genuinely rubbish job. I hate putting slabs down. It's just not something I enjoy, but it means we can use it all summer then. And if I don't get it done now, and if I don't set myself those deadlines, I'm not going to get them done. But also that means that other things suffer. So, you know, okay, so the animals, they always have first priority, always get fed and looked after. But the garden definitely hasn't this year. And I'm feeling guilty now that I'm quite far behind. You know, stuff isn't growing the way it should do. I've got beds full of weeds. Part of me wonders if I should maybe take a bit of a step back this year in the garden, sheet over some beds, and kind of just take a bit of a break, you know, do the polytunnel, do the greenhouses, do some of my favourite crops, you know, some peas, some things like that. Not try and do quite as much as I normally do. Try and get on top of it a bit more, try and make it a bit easier for the future. Kind of, you know, doing a bit of infrastructure work in the garden almost, you know, building some compost, maybe sowing some green manures and growing those as kind of like composting crops. But I think one thing, I don't know if other people suffer from this kind of constant guilt of not having done enough. You know, even though, you know, I get told off for working far too much, I'm always being told off by my wife for, you know, constantly working. And I work from home, you know, so it's not like I've got any excuse, and spare minutes here and there I spent doing jobs, and but it's just never enough, is it? So I don't know, bit of a weird one. Yeah, maybe need to forgive ourselves a bit more for what we haven't done and what we have done. I often think, you know, God, self-sufficiency is a long way off, and that's not, it's an aim, long-term aim to be, you know, food self-sufficient. It's definitely not going to happen this year. I did lots of jobs other infrastructure jobs. So worked on lots of trees and, you know, did the hedges and got loads of firewood ready for next winter. I've still got more to do. I'm sat on the firewood now actually as I do this. But you know, like when I started here on the Smallholding, there was nothing here other than the 3 fields. I planted lots of trees and kind of build it up slowly. And every year you think, well, because I've done this, next year will be easier. But there is always something else to do next year. And now we're even having to, we've been here 11 years, 11 and a half years, even having to like maintain those things that we've already done, that we've built the infrastructure. It takes time. Yeah, you could kind of see why they used to have lots of kids back on the American prairies and stuff, you know. You need a lot of you. Even doing the jobs in the morning takes a long time. Like feeding the chickens, and you know, especially if you've got to change all the waters and everything else, and you know, especially when they were locked in, you've got to straw them down and things like that. All takes time, you know. Before you've even started in the workshop, I've done a load of jobs, answer emails, you know, things like that. All takes time. Could do with some longer days and some longer weeks, really, I think. But spring seems to have not happened, then come all of a sudden. And suddenly I feel very unprepared, especially in the garden. And I can already feel that it's going to be a bit of a disappointing gardening year. And I do talks on garden clubs and stuff, and you know, you always get that kind of imposter syndrome doing them, you know. And people say, "Can I come look around your garden?" And you think, well, how much do you like nettles, really? You know, what do you want to see? What do I, you know? I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it? Yeah, kind of portray ourselves as perfect, you know. It's easy, you know. I can share a few pictures on Twitter of some nice blossom and stuff and think, you know, people think, oh, he's a great smallholder, but you kind of, sometimes you just feel terrible with it. You know, not having any 4-legged stock certainly makes it easier at the moment. Again, I feel guilty with that. We've got, you know, 2 nice paddocks here. We take a few sheep, lovely. Yeah, it's like time and mental capacity, I suppose. Like you stack the jobs up, you make the life. You're like, smallholding and homesteading kind of adds layer of complications to life. I always remember I was ill a few years ago, really badly ill with flu, and my mate came around to do the jobs in the morning. And the jobs that were taking me 15 minutes, I had to kind of like describe to him what to do, and it took him like an hour and a half. You know, and that added complication of life that you've kind of given yourself. Because let's be honest, we don't have to do it. You know, it's not for. It's for my own, you know, for my own benefit and my children's benefit that we do this kind of lifestyle. And you make life harder in a way. I mean, it's better, in my opinion. You know, a lot better, but it does certainly make it harder. Yeah, bit of a weird one, but just feeling really guilty. I'm not doing enough. But I haven't got any time to do any more, if that makes sense. So it's, yeah, bit of a downbeat one, maybe. Rabbit on. Yeah, I thought I'd do a piece to camera, and I thought it'd be more upbeat than this. But it's not, is it? So yeah, I don't know. It's all good. You know, life's good generally. You know, we're all happy, live in a beautiful place. I've always got this overriding sense of guilt because I'm not doing enough. So I want to know, like, do you suffer with the same kind of guilt of thinking you've never done enough as I do? You know, gardening, smallholding, allotment, homestead, wherever you live, you know, do you always feel like you should be doing more? Do you struggle to relax? Do you struggle to take it easy? Do you struggle to kind of enjoy what you've created? Because somehow you need to be pushing on for more. That's my question to you all, really, I suppose. Huh. Let's go with that. Like, comment, subscribe. Do your usual stuff. Ah. Bloody nettle there.